All right, everyone. We are here with our Tough Enough episode uno, episode one in French, episode one in English review. So definitely kind of the premiere episode, which was really cool. We had the first episode on the network, but this is the first one officially on the USA network, so that was cool. Um, do you have any like just thoughts in general on the set? I know we had you got any thoughts on the overall setup of the show to start out?
I'm not really sure. I feel like it has to grow on me. I you know, this is season 5, I believe, of Tough Enough. But all the other seasons, and this one was going to be real different anyway, because this is the first time that they actually have the performance center. Before that, they would be in a house somewhere, and they would train in basically what was kind of a warehouse. It was just a ring. So it's really different in that aspect. And also, I watched an interview, and I don't remember if it was on the Tough Enough app or if it was on Google, but it was basically, Chris Jericho wanted to completely revamp Tough Enough and make it sort of a little bit more kind of almost like an American Idol type thing, and you kind of saw that in the set design for the live part of the show. You sort of saw that with Paige, Daniel Bryan, and Hulk Hogan as the judges, kind of sitting there. So that was kind of cool. It's still different. That's what I kind of have to get used to. Um, but that's just another way to get other people to who's flipping through channels. They stop and they say, "Oh, this kind of looks like American Idol. Let's watch this for a minute," and maybe get people who haven't been fans of WWE for a while or aren't fans of WWE kind of into it. So I kind of like that idea. It's just for the hardcore, you know, fan who started watching Tough Enough from season 1, it's a big difference. So you just kind of get used to it. But I think I'll like it, especially with Chris Jericho because he makes it work.
Yeah, the set for me was interesting, and it was more about how it was shot. Going in, I was expecting it to be like you know, we go straight to like competitions and straight into the actual reality show part of it. Whereas we kind of started with like this, this set and seeing the judges, seeing all the contestants at that point, and I didn't like it at first because I guess my expectation, but I overall really did like the show. So we started out with the first Tough Enough competition. Um, and really, what I learned here, a couple of things that I learned from this first competition, is I don't like Amanda already. She said I'm, not just a Barbie doll. I don't know why I didn't like that. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Dana Brooke, I think, in some regard, just the way she is. She even like has that pose like Dana Brooke. Like when she stands, just when she's like standing and take a picture, or just standing in general, she reminds me of Dana Brooke, and I like Dana Brooke, but yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. It's just I didn't like that from her. Um, I know Casey had said in the first episode that he liked he liked Alex, and I that tattoo that he showed off was really interesting with the kind of the warrior type of tattoo where he had like the armor and stuff on like that, which was kind of cool, and it kind of allows him to stand out just from the outset. Um, Diana upset me when she opened her mouth, just because it started with a complaint. She was complaining about the first competition already, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna win by complaining like that. At this point, Gabby hadn't really grown on me yet because she was just the same person I saw in the first episode, or in that kind of network episode where I was just like, I'm not really feeling it. Sarah Lee interests me though, because I liked her personality, and I like that she was kind of like this is Plan A. she kind of hinted to a plan B, but she was like, this is the main plan though, which was kind of cool. And even on the if you got to watch the Tough Talk show with the Miz afterwards, that was on the network. It was kind of, she looked like she kind of separated herself with her look in general. She looks like a different type of a girl. We kind of got that with Ashley before the girl in the very first episode. So it was kind of cool to see somebody that was kind of different. In this drill, Tanner killed it. He just beat everyone to like just pulps. They couldn't even keep up, and they were upset about it. And you will hear about that a little bit later. ZZ was struggling, unfortunately. He was just falling, and everything that could go wrong went wrong for ZZ. But he did finish it, which was great. And Amanda was first for the girls. So Tanner was first for the guys. Amanda was first for the girls here. And Mata just is the one who started the not happy train with with Tanner on this one. So you got any thoughts on that? How that first competition went? I was kind of surprised Tanner won, but I was kind of like, I was like, let me give Casey his props here. He did pick Tanner. At least he mentioned him, so I was like, kind of got to give him a little bit of credit there for that one.
Yeah, I mean, just right out of the gate, I felt like Tanner, Alexander, and ZZ kind of had something special. Whether it was a look or just their personality, ZZ was kind of the most out of all of them, who had that most kind of unique personality. The first competition, though, I mean, it felt like the usual kind of a little bit generic competition for Tough Enough. They always have that first competition where it's similar to this, just kind of seeing how they are condition wise, you know what I mean, with their conditioning, see what they have to work on. And it obviously showed that ZZ really needs to work on his conditioning, which I feel like he could do, and it kind of just, it kind of helps them, to step back and say, okay, I thought I was, fit, and I thought I was in perfect shape and whatever. It kind of makes them step back a little bit, I feel like, and say, oh, okay, maybe I do need to work on this or that, So it wasn't anything special. Obviously, they'll get into more, unique challenges as the season goes. But I liked it.
Alrighty, so next was the big kind of house reveal, which I thought was really interesting because this is kind of my first, Tough Enough. Not necessarily my first experience because I remember past Tough Enoughs, but not like clearly. I remember the very first one, or at least the winner. So like this was kind of my first kind of experience. It was kind of cool, especially considering I watched other, reality shows like Big Brother and Survivor. So it was kind of cool to see what the house was going to look like. ZZ from the jump was going to get him a cuddle buddy. ZZ, the Mac Daddy, gonna get him a cuddle buddy. He was saying it. And as everyone was gonna go to the bar to get a drink and all that, and ZZ revealed that he was 18, and I was like, what? what? Because the guy does not look 18. I was like, Mom, how old does this guy look? She was like 35. I was like, this guy's 18, not going to the bar, can't have any fun. I was like really surprised by that. And that was pretty much all the house reveal that I kind of got. That ZZ was 18, and ZZ, the Mac Daddy gonna get him a cuddle buddy. Anything that you took from that, the house reveal?
ZZ talking about how he's gonna stay home and he also said he was gonna eat some cookies, and I was like, oh, that's not a good thing, man. No, you need to work on the conditioning. No, but there wasn't really anything too special. I didn't think about and the thing about it wasn't really a house either. It was kind of, I think it was actually part of the performance center, actually in the performance center. So it's like they can't even get away from working out. They can't even get away from they're stuck. They are stuck there. At least in the past, Tough Enough, you can get away, you can go back to the house, you can relax. No, your house is the performance center. But yeah, it wasn't anything too special besides that. I like that they did keep the kind of typical reality show part to it, where they go out to the bar, and they kind of get a little drunk and, all the shenanigans and whatnot. So that was pretty cool. It didn't completely change the show. So hopefully that kind of brings out some drama in this season. So
Yeah, and like you said, the next part was the kind of social part where we kind of got to see them firsthand in a social environment as they went to the bar. Gabby was pole dancing, and everyone is like, "What is she doing?" Everyone is like, "No, no, don't be over there." Pole dancing. Her, I think it's her fiance, was like, "It's a skill. It's a skill." Which I thought was kind of funny on the Tough Talk show. But you know, Tanner was over there just getting his Mac on over there. He got the juice over there. You know what I'm saying? He all the women's, all of them. Yeah, I said the women's. But all the women's was on Tanner, and all the guys were sitting in the corner like, bruh. So I just thought that was kind of funny. Just the guys were just hating on Tanner, and I'm like, why y'all hating on this man? He won the first competition. He getting all the women's. What's wrong? What's wrong with you? You know. And then we kind of went back to the house a little bit, and ZZ says, he, he's in the hot tub. It's first time in the hot tub, and he says, he wants the soup, not the stew. Sometimes it's good to have the soup, but but that's just you add the meat in there. You got the meat in there, but then you get a little bit of spices, and you get the stew, or you get the soup. And I thought that was really funny. And as the women's or the females get into the jacuzzi, ZZ starts to get naked because that's what he saw in a movie, so he knew that's what he had to do. And everyone just flees. It was so freaking funny. You got any thoughts on any of the social aspects of the show that kind of went down? ZZ had me cracking up during these parts here, especially.
I mean, right from the first episode, you kind of can see who's gonna be starting drama. Who's gonna be making some issues. But it was just a fun first episode, at least social wise. There was some coming up. There was some fighting and some drama more coming up. So get to the juicy parts that coming up. But I just love ZZ. He's just how can you not love ZZ? How?
I agree, man. Next we get the in-ring kind of teaching kind of drill that they did. Shout out to Jason Jordan for doing getting his teach on. I was like, yeah, Jason Jordan. I was excited to see Jason Jordan, kind of doing the teaching thing, kind of, demonstrating a little bit. I thought that was kind of cool. Diana at this point admits that she's hurt. Tanner has no chill. None at all. He says he can do twice as much as everybody else. No chill at all, which I thought was kind of funny. And obviously everybody's hating. Like you're not gonna do twice as much as me. It's not gonna happen. Everybody is like, it's not gonna happen. Patrick was kind of getting heated with Tanner at this point. This is kind of the start of the kind of more of the hatred for Tanner. And I was like, I don't really know if Patrick wants any of Tanner for real. Like, I don't know if he really wants any of Tanner. Tanner's an MMA fighter. I don't care how passionate you are, Patrick. The man can actually fight. So don't, I wouldn't mess with that man. But Diana, she did 17, which was cool, and she was in pain. A lot of people questioned her kind of hurtness, I guess you could say, or injury, I guess you could say. Um, Tanner did a good job of in this drill of pacing himself. It seemed like everybody else, not necessarily were rushing, but it just seemed like Tanner kind of just flowed through it well. This drill, and he kind of wants to prove everybody wrong in this drill because everybody's like, you can't do but so many and all this, and even Booker T said, I bet he won't even do 15, and he comes through and does I think 16 or 17, one of the two, which was kind of cool to see Tanner continue to kind of take the criticism, put it on his back, and just go with it. That's what I like about Tanner so far is like he can take the criticism and still be good. Any thoughts on the in-ring drill that they had?
I liked it. Again, it was pretty basic stuff for beginning of training. It just I didn't like that Diana, comes out, first, day and she's like, "Oh, I'm hurt, blah blah blah." I mean, you don't bitch about being hurt the first day. You're just starting. You're literally just starting. You didn't have time to get hurt. What were you doing that you got hurt? Like, I don't know. It just bothered me because it was like, like I said yesterday, there's a difference, especially in professional wrestling and, any sport, period. There's a difference between being hurt and being injured. When you're hurt, yeah, you're hurt, but you don't bitch about it. You move, you push on, you still do your job. You still, get in the ring. You still get on the field, whatever. When you're injured, okay, you're on the shelf. You have to be on the shelf. But I didn't like that she came out automatically, and it was almost like she wanted the attention. She's like, "Oh, I'm hurt," blah blah blah. Like, if I'm hurt, I'm not gonna say anything because that's gonna put a target on you, you know. And then with Tanner, I love how he just like made everybody look like a punk. Everybody, it was awesome. Um, so I'm really excited to see how far he goes. Being the smallest guy, and I like that later on when they drilled them, how Daniel Bryan was like, they're talking about how he's the smallest guy and he's bigger than I am. And I was like, yep.
All right, so I'm gonna lump all these together. Um, so we had the whole when Tanner and ZZ were kind of getting their hair braided by the girls. The guys started hating again. We had Diana leaving. She does end up coming back. Talks about how she wants to plan her wedding, and I love. This was the part I loved about Gabby. Although I'm not a huge fan of her yet, I love that she kind of, wasn't having that. Like she wasn't really, um, about that missing my fiance type of a thing, like all that complaining and stuff like that. I like that she kind of brought it up. As much as I don't like Gabby's controversy all the time, I think, at times within reason, it makes a lot of sense. And then the Tanner and Alex altercation, Tanner basically, just says he's the best and he's proved it. And then the other guys just continue to bicker over it, and he and Alex kind of got a little heated there at that point. The main thing was like, there was a lot of hatred on Tanner, and I'm like, all he's done is came out there and did what he said he would do, or really he would go do it and then say it. It wasn't like he would say it and then do it. Like he would do it and then say it, which kind of gives him the right to say it. And Diana, she just, her leaving just frustrated me because I'm like, really? And I think in every reality show, you always have that one person that just ends up leaving. And I didn't think she was coming back. I was surprised that there wasn't like a punishment or anything for her just leaving like that. But, that's kind of me getting used to the Tough Enough reality style. Any thoughts on these three kind of sequence of events?
First of all, again with Diana, she is not, starting off on good terms with me at all. I don't like her. Um, First of all, just leaving, even just going out to see her fiance. Like I said yesterday, in any other Tough Enough, you were in the house. Yes, you could call, your boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, whatever. But they never saw them unless they won like a special challenge or something where they got a chance to see, and even that rarely happened. So why is it okay that she all of a sudden can just go out and see her fiance whenever she wants? I honestly thought she was leaving at that point, and I was kind of happy. But then when it's like, okay, no, she's not, and they didn't, give her any punishment or anything. It's like, okay, so they can just see people whenever they want. This isn't, you know, I don't know. And I thought it was Georgia that was the one that was start confronted her. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, it was Gabby because she was kind of in the corner, like not really having it. She was like in the corner, like just like typical Gabby, saying I don't really care about these people, I don't really care about your complaining and all of that, it was Gabby because that's the only time I actually liked her in the show. When she
Oh,
stood up
okay.
to that girl.
Okay, it must have been Gabby. She's the Brazilian one or whatever that I
Yeah,
hate. That
yeah.
annoys the shit out of me.
Speaking of Georgia, I almost fell in love tonight. Georgia almost stole my heart tonight, or last night in this show. Definitely, I like her. She like grew on me tonight. I think her. I really couldn't pick out an X factor out of the women, but I think you know Tara Lee was I kind of liked her. Georgia. She's just pretty. That's about what I like about her. And Gabs obviously she's kind of just she's kind of just there, just there to stir the pot a little bit. You want to take the judges grilling because I know you really like that. You really like the judges.
Uh, yeah, this pretty sure this is gonna be my favorite part of the entire Tough Enough season this year. Let me see if I still have my notes because I wrote some notes about it yesterday. Let me see if I still, and I probably don't. Awesome. So, but anyway, yeah, they kind of, you know, Daniel, I forgot who they each focused their questions to. But it was kind of just basically drilling them, uh, I think it was it Lita that asked the one girl what was no, it was Daniel Bryan asked her what and I forgot who it was. What was her, you know, toughest thing she's had to go through in her life, and she gave the most generic answer ever. She gave the typical, "Oh, my life's been a whole tough blah blah blah," and I was just like, "No, that is not." But I love it because and I know DJ had a little bit of a problem with it because he was like, "Oh, they're being mean, they're being tough," but it's if you look at it this way, especially Daniel Bryan and Paige, they love professional wrestling. Paige has grown up in professional wrestling. She is a second generation professional wrestler. Daniel Bryan has, he's worked through the indies from, sleeping on gym floors and, working shows in, old gymnasiums where you may maybe have gotten paid like $5. He worked his way up, so he loves professional wrestling. So they want to get the best people, in the business that they can. They want people who really love it, who aren't just there for the $250,000 whatever contract than just fame and glory. They want somebody who, like them, really loves professional wrestling and wants, what's best for the business. Not what's best for business, what's best for the business. So I'm okay with them being tough on them. You know what I mean? I like it, and it just makes it more entertaining. Because you never know what they're gonna ask them, or what their responses are gonna be. So I liked it.
Yeah, I did kind of think they were kind of hard on the contestants. Just with the whole like cutting them off and kind of not letting them get their say in, like all of their say in. I did think they were a little bit hard on the contestants, but I kind of liked it. I kind of drew the comparison to Survivor and the jury when they questioned the final three. How they're kind of cutthroat with it too. So I kind of I like it. It's obviously there to build that kind of thicker skin on these contestants too. You can tell. And Daria was the girl you were talking about who gave the generic answer, the one that came out on national on the live in WWE Network for just $9.99. The one that came out in front of the entire world for the first time. That was her toughest thing, and she gave her generic little tidbit. But final thing that happened was the bottom three was revealed. It was ZZ, Hank, and Josh, and obviously, I'm probably gonna vote every week, regardless of if it, actually counts or however they do it. But probably gonna vote every week just to vote for whatever. And it was weird because I felt like I didn't have a lot of time to vote either. Like I had like 3 minutes. I had like the commercial length from the time they announced the bottom three until the commercial. And I'm like, well, I don't really have a ton of time to vote here, but all right. And obviously, I was gonna vote to save ZZ or Josh because I picked Josh, and my dark horse was ZZ. So, Hank, I apologize, bud. You guys, I can't vote for you tonight. So, Hank does end up getting eliminated. And obviously, with the vote, you could tell that the fans love ZZ if it did really go to the fans. He got a huge percentage of the vote. So, and that would make sense logically from both ends. But yeah, definitely. I'm interested for next week to see what's gonna happen with Tough Enough next week. I'm really interested in it. I don't think it got a great rating from what I've been reading, but I do think it is an interesting thing, and it actually surprises me that that WWE nonetheless hasn't done this more often, like more than just like I think they have had 5 seasons. I think this is the 5th or 6th season. Can't remember.
5th, I think. Yeah.
5th. So I'm surprised that they haven't from 2001 to 2015. I mean that's 14 years. I'm surprised they haven't had more than 5 seasons. But the ratings kind of tell you what happens too. With that, because I found it very interesting as a wrestling fan. I feel like even outside of the wrestling, fan base, you would find it interesting. So I don't know. I kind of like it. Any thoughts on the bottom three, or just Tough Enough in general? Anything on that?
I mean, to an extent, I agreed with the bottom three. I didn't like that my boy ZZ was there, because he shouldn't be there. But I understand why he was there. He does need to work on his conditioning, like we've said. Other than that, I think he could be a really, interesting, like I said, WWE superstar. I don't like the voting because you don't have a lot of time. I feel like they should have had it where, you get the bottom three and then you have, at least maybe a day to vote, and then they do the results the next day or something, and then something like that, so where you get more time to vote, because like you said, you only get that 3. I didn't get to vote because I had it DVR'd, so I had no way to vote. And as for the voting count, you may think it, seemed legit, but it seemed really WWE BS esque to me, because it seemed just like, anytime we get the vote on a stipulation for a match on Raw, it'll be like, 87% for this match and then the very tiny percent for the other two. And that's basically what it was, a big amount for ZZ and a small amount for, the other two. So that it just seemed like that same WWE format. So I don't know really if the voting is legit. But I feel like if it is, they need to give us more time to vote, it's not fair, if somebody, if I have to work on, Tuesday night, I won't get to vote because, they only let you vote at that time for 3 minutes or whatever it is. So I don't think that's a good idea for them. I think that's something they need to think about, not necessarily for this season because they're already into this season, but maybe if there's another season after this, hopefully there is, they'll update that. But I was okay with the bottom three. Other than that,
Alrighty, so that's it. That's all we got. Hank is eliminated. If you didn't catch that when I said it, Hank was the one that got eliminated. So if you picked him, you're wrong. No, but definitely, I'm interested in this Tough Enough thing. Obviously, I was just reading an article where the numbers are down for this season compared to the debut of the 2011 season. But it did say that one aired right after WrestleMania, so it's pretty much a lot easier to get people to watch right after WrestleMania than it would be in this random time going into Battleground. But definitely interested to see how this goes. And if you have any comments, feel free to leave them. If you have anything you want to say about Tough Enough, who's your pick? I want to know. We want to know who your pick is. It's not too late. Once we get to like the final two, it's too late. Okay, but definitely excited for next week. To see if Tanner continues to dominate or if somebody else steps up to the plate. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Follow the Twitters, all of them, all 3 of them. Follow them, the podcast, me, Kinsey, all of them. And we will see you guys in the near future.